Welcome back, YouTubers, to another Smackdown review. With us, the two guys sitting in front of your screen here, the British Fist.
Gotcha.
Mr. Parkin here, none other than sitting next to me. It's NJ.
What's up?
Doing a what's up on and off screen. Very impressive there, NJ. Subscribe above, like this video, and comment your thoughts on this edition of Smackdown down in the comment section below.
Make sure you contact us in the links in the description box below.
Yes, and those links include Twitter, don't they, NJ? New refound Twitter love for me and you, etc. So Smackdown, this was the Smackdown before the 1000th Raw, and I guess there wasn't really too much to happen on this Smackdown, so I guess we should just really get down to it. Maybe we can do a less than 20-minute review for once in our lives, eh? We opened up this show with Rey Mysterio talking about why he, how he loved to be back, and they did it in his hometown of San Diego, so it was right for him to open, really, wasn't it?
Yes, with Rey Mysterio returning, of course they can try and make it as big as they can before the 1000th episode of Raw, where even though he may have his involvement, he may get covered by other things. So the fact that he's had Raw and Smackdown to have his appearance and his showcase, nicely done.
And then he gets cut off by Alberto Del Rio talking about how he took Rey out and how he could easily just end his career right now, and he wanted him to leave his ring. And Rey was like, "Nah, I ain't jabbing for you, man."
Take that little chihuahua out the ring.
And then we get the appearance of the Money in the Bank winner, Dolph Ziggler. It's kind of like, wow, are we getting another clusterfuck of an opener here? Basically saying he is out here for Del Rio as he cost him his cash-in at Money in the Bank. But him and Del Rio had other plans, didn't they? They were like, let's gang up on this little guy.
That's what I was looking for. I was looking for the heels to take out the little guy, because that's what I want to see, the little guy getting picked on. Ugh.
Yeah, but we get none other than the big guy Sheamus coming out to save the day. And are you alright there, NJ? Oh, thank God for that. I thought you had a gingivitis for a minute there. I'm just a bit worried about you, brother. The faces, of course, end up on top on this segment there. It seems to me like Ziggler's a heel, but they're also trying to tease him as a bit of a face as well, going after... It's kind of like they're trying to see how the crowd are reacting to this guy now, if you know what I mean.
Well, with Ziggler, the way I see it is that we're having loads of heels eventually coming back, and the heels coming in. Like, we've had the Sandow, we're having Barrett, we're having probably Orton possibly.
Could switch in babyface.
So quite easily they should maybe turn him face to even out more, so I would look forward to seeing that happen. Yep,
and in usual Teddy Long style, but without Teddy Long there, which is a bit of a shame, because at least he makes it entertaining. We get a main event tag match made. Rey and Sheamus versus Del Rio and Dolph Ziggler. Pretty predictable main event that they're made, pretty much.
Oh, I couldn't see it coming.
No, well, you never can when Teddy Long's on there. I mean, you had the return of Rey. You got the tease of the Rey and Alberto feud that they're doing. They've also teasing the Sheamus Del Rio feud still the following from the pay-per-view. And we got Dolph Ziggler involved in the opener as a Money in the Bank winner.
So from the opener, it does get me questioning who is Sheamus going to face at SummerSlam, because we have Rey going against Del Rio. Ziggler's probably going up against Jericho, so that leaves Sheamus on his own, so the people who could feud against are busy at SummerSlam.
Yeah, and they do need to give him a legit opponent. I think one of the issues with Sheamus now is he doesn't have a legit opponent. They need to give him like a Jericho or a Big Show or a Mark Henry or someone legitimate like that going into SummerSlam. Do you not think?
Yeah, the only thing I could see really is he gets somehow involved in a triple threat or something, but I don't know what's happening. It looks like Sheamus left out, but we'll see at SummerSlam.
We'll have to see. I hope they do have a legit opponent lined up for Sheamus at SummerSlam. And speaking of SummerSlam, NJ, I hope Metallica perform at SummerSlam this year. Don't you think? Wouldn't you just love Metallica? My shirt here. Wouldn't you just love Metallica to be at SummerSlam?
Well, with all the big names in the music business, Metallica is definitely one that's different to what we've been getting, and the band that the majority of the world would represent and know and want to see, so yes.
And unlike some stuff that WWE do, they will appeal more to the adult audiences such as ourselves, which will be nice. We had 8-man tag action next. The prime-time players of Hunico and Camacho versus Epico Primo and Kofi Kingston and R-Truth. Kind of like Survivor Series come early for the tag team division this week, wasn't it?
Very true. It's good to have seen it. The way I see it is you've got the winners, that's won most of their matches, against the losers. Because every match these have, you've had Epico and Primo win, R-Truth and Kofi Kingston always win, and the losers who have had to fall into the losing the match. So it evens out here. You know,
you look at this, Hunico Camacho and Epico and Primo, they had some very good chemistry in the ring, didn't they? And I was thinking to myself, I was like, man, they could make Hunico Camacho, Epico and Primo into like a badass faction, couldn't they? Like a Mexican-America version 2 WWE style.
But if they kept it up, we could have quite easily had the Epico faction versus Washington's faction if he did follow that through. So we could have had that storyline in the mid-card, but No.
Yeah, the match itself, I thought this was a pretty good 8-man tag. Lots of exciting action here, as you expect from a lot of these wrestlers being kind of high-flying wrestlers. It got a pretty good length of time. Darren Young gets the pin on Primo in the end, and it's like, finally, the primetime players get the victory, just as I thought that they were getting de-pushed.
Yeah, that was a big surprise for me, because the way it was going, I thought this is just going to go quickly downhill for them once again. But then for them to get a win, even though they've lost their contendership, lost their title chance, now they're back to just being a normal tag team, there may still be hope for them.
You do wonder what they're going to do with the tag team division going into SummerSlam. They might have a triple threat tag match. Who really knows what they're going to do? Then you have, after what I thought was a very good segment, you have Big Show come out and destroy pretty much the whole tag team division. It's kind of like, did you really need to do this just to get Big Show on the show? Really? Destroy the tag team division?
They're expected the tag team to always get picked on by the bigger guys, especially by Big Show. But you had the primetime players escape quite happily, but Big Show takes up the faces and the heels. And all he really says is, yeah, and...
Yeah, whatever. But, at least the primetime players get out of there unscathed with AEW. That's one thing that came good from this. But I just don't understand why Big Show had to come and destroy the tag team division. It seemed a bit weird. And I do hope they have primetime players at some point go after get another legit title shot rather than wasting it on free TV. Do it on a pay-per-view. Where the money is at, eh? So after that segment, we get Damien Sandow cutting a promo on the brainless broski. Right, that was funny, wasn't it?
His promo was nice, short, sweet. Great on mic, which we do expect from him. Yes, this is a temporary feud for him. Not as hype as we were hoping for after foreign Money in the Bank. Because obviously we predicted maybe the mid-card belts. But this match tonight was pretty good, I thought.
They had Sandow dominate the match, and he beats Zack Ryder very quickly. We come to expect this from Sandow now. Usually they have him involved in some kind of squash match, and what more can you really say? Sandow can do cartwheels. He can wrestle up there now. I hope they give him a little bit more time in the ring and give him some kind of feud. A US title feud would be very good for me against probably Santino or something.
It would be.
Yeah, definitely. After this segment, we have the hour main event. It's Christian's Peep Show featuring AJ and Daniel Bryan. And the first thing that comes to mind here for me was that I do wonder what they're going to do with Daniel Bryan. Are they going to feud him with Christian? Are they going to feud him with Kane? Are they going to feud him with Miz? There's loads of possibilities out there for Daniel Bryan. But the thing is, judging by the canned heat, usually SmackDown have canned heat so you can see who's the face and who's the heel. Was it me or was it confusing? Was he face? Was he heel? The canned heat really didn't indicate to me whether he was both, really. He kind of seemed more like heel than anything else, maybe?
The way it does seem at the moment, it's still heel. So I think they're trying to make it seem like that way. So when it comes to 1,000 episode of Raw or SummerSlam, he breaks out and leaves AJ. Because this segment really showed me how much I really don't like this relationship.
I know what you mean, because was it me or did Christian? He was asking all the right questions, but he seemed just as confused as we were. Like, why are you getting married? Does Daniel Bryan really love you? And it's kind of like, you get this whole feeling that it's all leading to some sort of wedding crashing, which would be done probably by the big red monster psychotic ex-boyfriend who he was in a match with next.
That would be quite a surprise. But the other thing I look at this is, no disrespect to the fans out there that are watching this, but when you're 16 female, weddings are on your mind, and for AJ to want this with Bryan, yeah, she can go ahead. It's on her mind. Why not?
Kind of get the feeling that she might want the money. But anyway, I don't know. I'm not married, so I don't really know how it feels. This leads us straight on to the psychotic ex-boyfriend Kane versus Daniel Bryan, match which we have indeed seen before on SmackDown. It went about 5 minutes. The match ended in a DQ when AJ interfered, and you kind of get the feeling now that maybe either entering him in a program with Kane, and maybe they're going to have Kane crash the wedding or something, and that's how they're going to launch a Daniel Bryan Kane feud to turn him babyface. I don't know.
The way I see, they're even going to go down probably a few going to SummerSlam, blah blah blah, after the 1,000 episode. Mm-hmm. Also, we had AJ just staring at Kane, expecting a kiss, blah blah blah, but Kane just said no, not doing, just stood there. But it made me swerve around that AJ made. After the crash of the wedding, may go back to Kane. I don't know how they're going to do it, but this, even though I see a Miz and Bryan feud, we also got this Kane one, so it's adding more to 1,000 episodes.
I'll say this though, whatever Daniel Bryan is involved with, it's going to involve AJ as well, isn't it? So that's not going to make you very happy. But we'll move on before you hang yourself. Heath Slater had an open challenge this week as he chucked his noose over the other side of the room. And who came out to answer the challenge, MJ?
Whoa!
Oh, and a rash. It was none other than Road Warrior Animal. I'm surprised they didn't have this on Raw because I'm thinking that Road Warrior Animal will get an incredibly good reaction at Raw.
That's very true. Maybe this was just a last-minute thing, and having a special guest appearing on SmackDown. Yes, it weren't announced or anything, so the fans that don't watch SmackDown missed out on this. But it was definitely a good, quick match for Heath Slater.
Yeah, and for Heath Slater, yeah, because he managed to get in the ring with Road Warrior Animal. That is a legend right in itself. And he has just been at the Dan Gable Museum where the Off the Road Show guys have been, and I know Jeff Slager had a chance to talk to the guy, and it was a surprise to see him there. I'll say that, especially after I knew he was at the Dan Gable Hall of Fame in Waterloo, Iowa. Move on to the main event then, I guess. Because usually at this point of the show, it's like we got a load of filler with Ryback and Brodus Clay, but we had, apart from Raw recaps, we didn't have too much filler. Rey and Sheamus versus Del Rio and Ziggler was our main event match of the evening. It got like a decent amount of time, 10 minutes. This was a pretty good match, I thought. I did enjoy. I think Rey Mysterio is giving us something that we're really lacking in SmackDown. That is just some fast, high-flying action, which Sin Cara right now can't give us because he's botching too much.
That's very true. The thing I want to say about this match is it did the whole typical thing. The faces dominate, the heels get some maneuvers in to look good, but then it comes up towards the ending. And again, this goes back to the Big Show match a few weeks back. The referee called a DQ out the blue quick like that just because Ricardo grabbed the leg. I just thought...
It did stink of that, didn't it? I will say that. But at the same time, I didn't really feel that Del Rio or Ziggler should really have jobbed here, even though I felt Rey Mysterio probably should have got the victory with it being in his hometown. But it was nonetheless a good match. It was just a bit of a ridiculous disqualification when Ricardo Rodriguez interfered. But they continued the semi-good booking with not Sheamus, sorry. I'm so used to saying Sheamus and good booking in the same sentence, but it wasn't this week. Del Rio cinched in the cross-arm breaker on Sheamus, and you kind of think to yourself, they're booking Del Rio strong here, but is he going to be in a feud with Sheamus, or is he going to be in a feud with Rey Mysterio? It kind of gets you questioning now. Maybe they're going to introduce Rey Mysterio into a title picture already. I don't really know. Shut up, Vicky Guerrero. Ricardo Rodriguez here to connect your square, man. Ricardo Rodriguez. Yes, Ricardo Rodriguez. So entertaining. I love Ricardo, man. He's awesome. But yeah, Del Rio looks pretty strong in this match. No one gets the victory, which is probably how it should have gone. But did they need to have Ziggler fail another cash-in again at the end of the show?
Maybe we just give Rey Mysterio an extra little spot at the end to get the crowd happy at the end.
Why not just have him win the match on Del Rio or Ziggler? Just saying. It wouldn't have hurt anyone too much. But you had Ziggler go to cash in the contract, and then Rey Mysterio just hits him and gives him a 619. And yeah, it makes sense. You end the show with the babyfaces on top, especially in Rey's hometown, and Sheamus being World Heavyweight Champion. So I guess in a way it did make sense. It just seemed like a little bit of a lackluster way to end the show with another failed cash in by Ziggler. And you kind of get the feeling that he may just be the first person to cash in and lose, or will it be Cena? Will it be Cena? We will find out on the 1000th Raw. But any more thoughts on this main event?
No, that's it. I just thought it's obviously even just wondering what direction they're going to go in, and hopefully in these next few weeks we'll get that.
I hope we do, because we do have some programs like that. We've got the Jericho Ziggler program, which could happen. We need a program for Daniel Bryan. He's got one of many heels or faces to feud with. We need a program for Rey Mysterio and Alberto Del Rio. So we've got a couple of nice programs lined up here. So I just hope that WWE actually give us a full card with maybe 6 or 7 matches with a lot of these young guys being featured in there. I think they need to do that at this year's SummerSlam. They didn't really do it last year very well. Remember that random 6-man tag combining 3 feuds?
Well, compared to last year, this year does have a lot more going for it, and I'm expecting obviously all that to come within the 1000th episode or beyond. Yep,
so look forward to the 1000th episode of Raw, because it's damn sheer more important than the Money in the Bank pay-per-view they just had. So look forward to 1000th Raw. They did a little bit of hype for that on this week's show as well, which you kind of expect. But what were your overall thoughts on this show then?
Well, it was okay. I wouldn't say it's like entertaining, got me interested. My best part was the Kane bit when he, at the end, he just chokeslammed Bryan and just looked at AJ and went, I want to.
Or did AJ look at him and go, nah, I ain't doing it this time?
Either way, there was just something there. That was one of my favourite parts. The rest of the show is okay. Add up to a main event that did good for Rey. And the only thing I did not like was the commentary in this, especially when they had the Peep Show. They really make it sound like a soap. You don't want to do this. You don't want to do that. Bryan should be doing this. AJ's doing that. Yeah, we've got to not do this. I was like, oh, for fuck's sake, shut up.
Oh my God, it's not very often NJ swears. You know when NJ swears, something's really pissing him off. But when you get Hollywood scriptwriters what do you really expect in this business? I'll just say, especially WWE and TNA as well with their AJ Styles and Claire Lynch storyline. I thought this SmackDown was I actually enjoyed this SmackDown a bit more than I thought I would. The main event was pretty good. The 6-man tag, the 8-man tag was pretty good. Rey Mysterio returning to SmackDown is a big boost for SmackDown, in my opinion, as they do need some star power. Seeing Road Warrior Animal, Damien Sandow looking strong once again. Our main event, the AJ Bryant stuff can fuck off, but it was still, in my opinion, a good. I'll give the SmackDown a B-. I did enjoy it, and they did do some stuff to hype up some feuds and have the relevant guys on the show. So I did think SmackDown this week was okay to good, in my opinion.
That's the way to say it.
Yeah. Do you give us your comments in the comment section? Do you think SmackDown was okay or good this week? You let us know down in that comment section below your thoughts on the show. And yeah, do you want to do an outro, NJ, after a Metallica lyric or two?
That's it, yes. Now, people, there'll be a good show coming up next. Until next time, from Mr. Parkin and me, NJ. Goodbye.